and their dramas, man, each and every day. But for me, I don't want Ten Hag to be sacked because
No,
we want to see
we want
Manchester
him until
suffering.
the end of the season, man. Why
Yeah,
should they sack him now?
now it's not good because
No,
No,
it's not good.
you are the players. You are the players. You are the people that say
yeah,
you want Harry Maguire to start because the game would be fun.
yes,
I see you.
that's what you want because Barnsley give Ten Hag, every time Barnsley gave Ten Hag a period to go, they let them win. It's just a tactic so that you can be entertained
And
because
Ten Hag, he has most of the players are new. He's still adapting. You see, he still needs time.
it's a beautiful week and full of football. We have enjoyed since Sunday. A great week of Champions League. Now we are in Europa League and Premier League as well. Welcome to a Triple Cup show. I'm joined here with my friend
Mike,
Mambo VP.
wow, I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long time since I came here.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm with Samba. We meet here with Samba every time I come.
You mean last time when you were
Last
here?
time I was here, yeah.
Samba on the other side. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that we are the dynamic duo. When Mike misses, I also miss. When he comes, I also come.
The coincidence is unmatched, man.
Yeah.
I hope you're good there.
You are suffering. You're hurting.
I'm sorry, man. We were sending all the hugs to all Manchester United fans, man.
Yeah, you need them.
You really need them. You know, it's very funny when you are crying over there and your guy is performing in Chelsea.
No,
You remember?
they expected us.
The day I was here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You remember the day I was here? I was against Sancho going to Chelsea. If you can remember very well.
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Go and edit and play that part. I said I would never allow Sancho to go to Chelsea.
That's very true.
Yeah.
We can feel your pain, Manze. As a Chelsea fan, how do you feel when you see Sancho performing on your team, Manze?
No, I think that's a blessing on our side because we got a very top talent in Sancho and he's showing us what he got.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we are just happy with him. I hope we'll retain him because we have an obligation to buy him at the end of the season. So I hope we finish top of I think the clause was top of 14th so that we can get him permanently. So
Also,
can,
they have a condition in
yeah,
case
they have
above 14.
we have an obligation to buy if in case we finish above 14th in the league table.
I think that is well.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Premier League, we have seen so many things happening, especially when you come to the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
We have seen the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Man City, the team that we think they cannot lose a game, a striker that we think he can't blank. He blanked last time when he played against Newcastle.
Sure.
So what can you tell us about that game?
I think the Premier League is the most unpredictable league in the top in the European in top 5 European leagues. You see,
Okay.
you cannot expect to win all the matches. Even you see when Man City is on form, it can lose or it can draw against the lowest team in the table. You see, so what it is you have to be on top of your game to win all those matches. You see, like Arsenal, you struggle like last time you struggle against Leicester. You see, nobody expected Leicester to even score a goal at the Emirates. That's the competitive nature of the Premier League. So if you sleep, you
lose.
You lose. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Samba, the absence of somebody like De Bruyne, somebody like Rodri on Man City, do you think it will affect them going forward?
Yeah. I think first of all, Rodri has been the key element in Manchester City's team. We saw last season when Pep lost Rodri, and they drew a couple of games. They lost a couple of games. Rodri is that player that will force that ball in the middle. He will force that ball, and when uh, when it comes to offensive, when the dead balls come back, he's very lethal when it comes to shooting.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
he's that guy that is able to help Man City, stay in the middle and allow all these other players to move freely. So Kevin De Bruyne also was very instrumental last season. Most of the goals that Haaland scored came from him. But this season, I think Pep decided to do something different, because if you look at the goals Haaland has scored,
Mhm.
I think it's only one goal that De Bruyne has assisted. So we are seeing that the assists are not coming from
De
De
Bruyne
Bruyne.
only. Because I was thinking like the dynamic of Manchester City, like every year they come with a different type of game that they want to play, and it will involve different type of players in their squad. Like we can see most of the games last season, Lodri was available and Foden, because I think De Bruyne was absent in most of the games
Yeah,
due to injury.
to injury.
And Foden really played a very good game last season. He was very much into the games, and I can see that this time round he has not started with Foden any game, because I don't know what are the tactics of him, because we see also Grealish was on the bench, and we thought maybe this year is when he will release somebody like Matthew Nunes, but still now I think the signing of Matthew Nunes was a fail to Manchester City, the way it failed with Kevin Phillips. What can you say about that, Mike?
I think it's about the coaching. You see, Pep. It's like he wants you to perform from the training ground. You have to prove yourself so that you can be in that team. Maybe these players they're showing the player who are coming in the first team, that the players who are showing him that they are fighting for that position. They have so many competitive players in different positions. So for you to get that chance, yeah, I think you must prove yourself to be there.
Okay,
You'll find they have so many superstars, but you'll find they're on the bench most of the games, or maybe this game week he will play, the next game week he will not play. Like for us FPL managers, we suffer with City players so much.
yeah, because you don't know who
You
is
don't know
playing.
who is going to play.
Sure,
Yeah,
definitely. So the legs of Haaland is the only one you know
yeah.
that he will
Only
play each and
Haaland
every
you
game.
know he will play, but the rest they always interchange because I think this a very healthy competition within the team.
I think they have one of the best bench
Yeah, sure,
after Real Madrid,
sure.
and I think this is the bench that like any other manager will want to have on his team. So, and we have seen that a very young team has entered into the league maybe 3 years ago, and until now I think when they entered the league they started by playing with Arsenal, and they battered us very bad in the first game. The next season they started with Manchester United, and also they battered them very bad. Brentford now is the team that you're talking about. They have now scored in 3 games the first minute,
Yeah,
and this is courtesy of Brian Buemo.
sure.
We thought maybe when Ivan Toney will go, this team will be
Will be
down.
down. Yeah.
And ever since Ivan Toney was absent, I think they have been performing very well. I think it's recommendable.
Sure.
So, will this trend continue?
Well, Brentford has been brilliant. I think they have perfected the art of scoring in the first minutes.
It's 3 games, but because first time we
Seconds.
thought maybe it was just a fluke.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
but Brentford, they have really mastered that art, because repeating it 3 times in the Premier League is not easy.
It's massive,
And
yeah.
yeah, I think Brentford, from the time they came to the Premier League, their attack has been very lethal. And Ivan Tony going out of the team, it was a big
Blow.
uh, it was a big blow. But Mbuemo and Wisa are stepping up, and Brentford are going to they're going to pressure a lot of teams, because once they score in the first minute, then the pressure goes back to the opposition team. So you have to attack, and the more you come, the more they score against you.
Sure, sure. Because we see it was very difficult when they played Man City.
They are very good also on the counter attack. So when you open up, they'll sting you.
Because we thought maybe the absence of Wisa in that team, maybe it will slow them down, and maybe their attacking, the counter attack will not be as lethal as they were when they were playing with the Wisa alongside Mbeumo.
I think you see they are called the Beasts. They are taking that name seriously.
They're sticking very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think is incredible to see.
Sure.
And the speed of that the game
The
they are
game,
playing,
yeah.
I think most of the team, when they're playing against them, especially Arsenal, when they play with such team which are running so much, they
yeah.
tend to slow the game down so that they can play their own game.
Yeah.
Because if you accept to play their game, I think they will still sting you, and you will end up losing the game.
Yes.
So I think when you talk about the teams which are coming from relegation, we saw how Leicester came from 2-0 to 2-2 with Arsenal.
Sure.
And I think it was incredible to watch. And most of the Manchester United and Chelsea fan, they were very happy when that. Mike, when you see the equalizer from Justin, what did you say? What was running through your mind, man? Yes, Mike.
When I saw they have equalized the 2-2, I was surprised, because Emirates is not an easy stadium for a team to score in. So
Yeah, sure.
for Leicester from Championship to the Premier League, and then they are scoring at Emirates, it was a surprise. So, and then they held on so very much well until the end. But the goalkeeper was very perfect for that match.
I think he's the one who kept them in the match.
Yeah, he kept them very alive in the match.
Samba, what do you say about that?
Well, I was not watching that game, but I was following. Then at one point, I went to the live score and I was like, 2-2. Because that game I had placed a bet and I had placed Arsenal to score a goal in the first half, because most of the time Arsenal must beat you at least a goal. Kidogo. I saw the corner and I was like, I know these games. There's a drill Arsenal have done, and they did it even against City. They're doing it against every team.
Yeah.
The way Saka puts the ball just behind,
near the corner there.
Near the corner there, and then there's a way the players shield these other players from attacking that ball. So even you can see the header Gabriel scored against City. The keeper couldn't move. Like, he had the options to move, but he could not even jump.
Yeah.
So it's something that Arsenal have perfected. And I looked at it and I was with my friend that is an Arsenal fan. I told him this one is going to be a goal, because they did not mark Trossard. And Gabriel is there, is dangerous. Calafiori had also other chances with the head. So, and teams like Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, if you've come back, if you've scored 2 goals, you need to hold up to the last minute, because even the last second, they will score against you. So it was not a shock for me, because Arsenal can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Manchester it's not a shock, because there is a time when where they were celebrating they have won the game, and we shocked them at the last minute scoring 2 goals. So talking about 2 goals, we saw somebody like Cole Palmer, very cold Palmer, Manze. He scored 4 goals in the first half. I think he's the first ever to score those kind of goals. So what I can say, is it a shock for you to see Cole Palmer scoring those kind of goals?
It is, because there is no any player who have ever done such. In 45 minutes, he has scored 4 goals. Yeah, that's unbelievable. But
even Haaland has never scored 4 goals in first half.
No. He's the one who scored the 4 goals in one half in football history. So that's a very unbelievable. But it's called Palmer. He can do things you cannot imagine. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every day we see he could have even scored about 8 goals in that match.
And in that match, yeah, he had
so many chances.
So is it Chelsea who are very good, or maybe Brighton were very poor?
Not really Brighton poor. They were very good also. But the goals they scored, they came from mistakes. 2 very useless mistakes we made. But Chelsea is not that. It's not that. It's not good. I think we are good. we've seen we are the leading goal scorers in the league.
Yeah, you have
We've
goal
scored
difference is high.
we've scored a lot of goals. So what we can say is that we have a very nice attacking at the moment, but we have to work on our defensive because we are doing very silly defensive mistakes. If we just worked on that, I think we could finish the league maybe in the top 4.
Do you think you'll finish top 4 next season?
I believe when I see how we are playing and our trajectory from last season to this season, you cannot believe it that Chelsea last season we had to go until late November for us to win 4 Premier League games
in a row.
No. 4 Premier League
most
games.
Most of them you are drawing.
Yeah, we drew and lose. Yeah, but now we've already won 4. We've lost 1 and we've drawn 1. You see,
I think
it's a little bit improvement. Yeah, in our games. So, by November we had only won 2, I think.
So as we are speaking now, I think Chelsea. Do you think maybe you can compete for title?
No, that's an overreaching. We can't say we can compete for the title, but we just want to compete so that we can make it in the top 4. At least we come back to the Champions League football next season.
Samba, do you see if maybe Chelsea can be a title contender?
Well, Chelsea are playing very well. Chelsea are playing very well. I wouldn't want to write them off because I think this season is going to be completely different. One, there is a new way of Champions League, how many teams, Europa, the same to conference. So Chelsea have already decided the squad they are going to put on conference. Then they are the strong players, they have reserved them for the league. So once they start winning these games, they are gaining confidence. So, but I think this conversation will be better when we play at least 12 games. Because I think looking at the fixture, I think now Chelsea are going to have now their tough fixtures.
Yeah.
Yes, from now to November.
Sure.
So if they have Arsenal there, they have Manchester United there, they have
Liverpool
there. So if they play, like you see the way Arsenal played against City with a red card, that was very impressive. So if Chelsea played that kind of way, then you can see that, okay, now we want this thing. Just like the way Arsenal played against City. It was unfortunate they conceded last minute, but they played fantastic. Yeah.
So we can say like maybe Chelsea has not faced the top 6 teams so far, but they played against City, true?
Yeah,
you started with City.
Yes.
I think you lost that game.
Yeah,
so another team which I think they have not played maybe first top 6, I think is Liverpool. And during a conference, even Ancelotti was saying that they have not played any big team. So far, they are, I think, they're leading in the table, and we can see like their trajectory like is where they left last season. We thought maybe when Jurgen Klopp will leave the club, there'll be that recession period whereby a team is not performing until they catch up. But I think Jurgen Klopp left the team while it's very much okay, very new, and players who have maybe integrated very well. So do you think Ancelotti is only lucky to be there, and because the team they have not played? Because when you see they played against Wolves, a team which has been battered by some, I think it has not win. But Wolves played with Arsenal and it was very difficult for us. But when they played with Chelsea, I think Chelsea, they really mopped the floor with them. So do you think the way we saw Liverpool playing against Wolves and it was difficult for Liverpool, is it that Liverpool haven't met the bigger team yet, that's why they are scoring, or they are there, or is just a team and another type of game?
I think you cannot say they haven't met a big team because they lost to they lost to Nottingham. If they can lose to Nottingham, I don't know if they meet City or Arsenal, what will happen, you see. So, and then what we can applaud Ancelotti is he didn't try to change the philosophy. He just continued with the philosophy Jurgen Klopp had put in place. So he has had an easy time with the squad. That's why you can see they are also performing well. So because when a new manager comes in, you will see always he is trying to change everything so that it can work for him.
Yeah,
But
because I see most of the new managers who are coming to the team
yeah,
is maybe the team they have sacked the manager,
yeah,
so he will come. He cannot continue with
continue
what
with
was
the,
here.
yeah, yes,
But for him, he just retired, and I think he left the team where they are so
so
good. They were
good.
competing in every front.
Yeah.
So, somebody, do you think Anslot is just lucky to have that kind of a team?
And Slot is very lucky, first of all, to inherit a very mature team, a team that everybody knows the style of play. Everybody knows Liverpool is attacking football. So it is just a matter of little tweaks. You've seen the likes of Salah, Nunes, Diaz. These are very, very good players. Look at the defense, Van Dijk, Trent Alexander. So he inherited a very, very, very mature team and is very lucky because if players would have left because Klopp left, I don't think he would be where he is right now. And also, what I feel is like there was that fear factor of Jurgen Klopp. I don't see it with Liverpool. I don't see Liverpool. I think teams will not see Liverpool as a dangerous opponent. Remember, the Jurgen Klopp team was like, you're going to Anfield,
Yeah,
you know you're going to get a whooping.
and
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, if you see what Nottingham did to them, it shocked them. So, um, and I also watched Liverpool's game against Norwich. Norwich gave them a headache. So if they are going to meet teams like Arsenal, which to score against them is a big hurdle, then I think that is when the big test of Liverpool will come. But anyway, he's just continuing the philosophy of Klopp. And what's even helping him more is the atmosphere because Anfield is wild.
I think as well. And I remember Wenger saying that Liverpool have won most of the Champions League because of their stadium. Because they might lose in their away game, but they always win in their stadium. I think the fans, they know how to cheer their team. They are wild. They come live because I can say, like, you see the Champions League which Arsenal played yesterday. It was I think I never saw a very dull Arsenal atmosphere like that because it's Champions League. It's not Premier League. We played against a very big team. I don't know if maybe Arsenal fans, they were having that fear in them that maybe we'll not score or maybe we'll lose that game against PSG. But it's a very big game. Even though I think we were a little bit lucky because the only time we are going to meet PSG is when they don't have Mbappe. It's not there. It's when Ndombole, I think Osman Dembele, they have a problem with the Enrique. For us, I think it was luck just by our side. Even though maybe we could have won, but I think just a small margin. And even them, they could have scored. It's a very good team, but it's not a lethal team like before, you know. So I think the fans, they really add up to energy in the. Yes, yes, this is so wild. So Liverpool, I think, is a team that need maybe to have more test because we can say they are the good team. Yes, they are, but I think most of the team now, the way somebody you have said, the fear factor where when Jurgen Klopp was there, like now is in a light note. True, it's not like that before. So we are having a team like Ipswich, which has just come from Championship. The team is playing so well. I think you have watched some of these games. Is playing so well, even though they haven't won any game, but the fact that they can come and score in each and every game, I think Ipswich is a team when maybe they try to maybe not concede a goal, they can win because they're scoring goals. True. So yeah, last game Ipswich played and they scored 2 goals. I think the striker called Dilap. You watched that game?
No, no, no. I didn't watch the
Somebody,
game.
did you watch that game?
Not fully, not fully.
Uh-huh. Did you see? What can you say about Ipswich itself?
I was very interested when they came to the from the championship and I watched their first game against Liverpool. They held them in the first half, and these guys are there's just a way they move the ball
Mhm.
and even how they scored even against Manchester City. So Ipswich are a team that are playing. I think they've decided not to play the lazy football and stay behind. They are going to attack, make sure they score a goal. But if they can now ensure that they can't score more and not play a very high line, then they can try. But I was watching the supercomputer predicting them to be relegated again. So, but
Uh,
they are playing very
even
football.
I was thinking the same. I think they'll be relegated, even though they are playing very well, because we see that same thing as what is the name? Luton Town was
Luton
playing,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
But I think they will still be relegated because as a team to sustain yourself in the Premier League,
You have to win
you have to win games and you have to make sure you're not conceding goals each
goals.
and
Yeah.
every time, because they are conceding a lot of goals, and that one they will hinder even if they score, but still they are conceding goals. I think it's the same thing like Chelsea, what they are doing,
Yeah.
because if you concede goal, if you don't score goal, you are in a big problem. So better you don't concede goal, because you can push the game until to the final, and you can try to have that last minute goal, and I think you will win. The same thing that team like Arsenal does, make sure that you're not being scored. Okay, so and we are having like a debate which was going like, who is better, Saka or Palmer?
Uh, that debate is, I think it's dubious at the moment because they don't even play the same positions. You see, Saka plays on the wing, Palmer is plays in the midfield. You see, so comparing them is just an.
Why do people keep on comparing Saka and Palmer?
I think it's because last season Palmer played most of the time on the wing. That's why. But his natural position is
Central.
central. You see, so they all excel in their own position.
So which is the natural position of Palmer?
Palmer he can excel very well in the midfield. You see,
Uh-huh.
but he's a very dynamic player. He can play on the right wing also.
So, but his natural position is in the central midfielder.
Yeah, he's you see he's there to provide. He's there to feed.
He's like a playmaker.
Yeah, he's our playmaker.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. If you're given a chance to select one player that you will have to use for the entire season, who will you choose?
Well, Cole Palmer is a very, very young talent, and is I cannot not say he's not great. He's a very great player. I watched him last season. He played against Manchester United, and what he did was crazy. So I watched him how he drives the ball, what he does with the ball, and I think Cole Palmer last season gave too many assists that were not scored.
Yeah.
But then he gave too many balls that if Chelsea scored, they would have finished in a better position. So when he has the ball, he's very lethal. But if I'm given to use one player, I'd choose Bukayo. I'll choose Bukayo Saka because uh, he's reliable. He is reliable. Um, but again, you've said they are not playing the same position. So if it's on the wing, I'd choose Bukayo. If it's role 10, then Palmer will be better for that.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's a way Bukayo is a nuisance. He will come, he will come again, and he will study what to do with the ball. He might not use his left foot, he might use his right foot. So, but with the way Cole Palmer is playing, that's a threat to all these other players.
Sure. On my side, I was thinking like I assumed that maybe they are playing in the same position, and we were arguing with one of the Chelsea fan, and he said that Cole Palmer, I think, is very far away from Saka. I think he said that Cole Palmer is better than Saka. I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion, but I asked him why is still Saka the only player that who was introduced by Unari and is still there until now. I think because of the consistency that Saka has given, Saka is still the only player that he has been consistent in England team, and he has been playing each and every England game, and he was maybe first 11 in most of since he was introduced to the team. The best part about Saka is his defensive ability, because even though he's an attacking player, but his defensive ability is very wild to an extent that we have never had problem in that wing, in Saka's wing. The problem which we were having, especially in Arsenal, I think it was in Martinelli's side, whereby the defense was not settled, and it was making somebody like Martinelli to be seen like he's not doing anything, like he's not performing very well. It took somebody like Carafiori to come and revive the presence of Martinelli in the game to an extent whereby I think he finished the dry spell of 17 games. This is the time that he scored. So that consistency in Bukayo Saka alone, I think, is what makes him to look a little bit better. It's not that he's better than Kolo Palmer, but the longevity of Bukayo Saka from when he started until now is what I think is keeping him apart from Cole Palmer, because even Cole Palmer after 2 seasons, I think this judgment can come from there. But from now, I think it's too much early for us to start comparing both, because their longevity is very, very different. True?
True, yeah.
So, Samba, you are a person that you say that you played FPL before, but nowadays you don't.
Nowadays it's because of the time, but I follow up and I see how, once you've played FPL, you'd always want to see who performed better, blah blah blah, who performed like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last week I think it was one of the most played wildcard in FPL family. Most of the managers played wildcard, and even as we discuss about the wildcard here, but it went south to most of the managers. Did you do wildcard this one, or it was before?
No, I did this week.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, now you have activated it.
No. Last week, this.
How many points you got?
I got 67.
67.
67. It was very unpredictable. You see, like people like Salah, you take someone like Haaland. You see,
who was your captain?
My captain is always Haaland. I will never change that because we expect Haaland to be scoring goals. But you see, like the Newcastle game, I think they handled him very well, perfectly, that he couldn't sniff any goal.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, you see. So that limited him in giving us the FPL managers points.
So who gave you the points?
My points came from Cole Palmer because I had him as my vice captain.
Okay.
Yeah. So when Haaland failed me, I think Cole Palmer,
I think he's the one who
he saved me, because I will be very,
because
very
my
far.
Captain was Salah.
If I had given Salah, I would be.
You had Salah also?
Yes.
So you had Salah, Cole Palmer, and
Haaland.
And Haaland.
Yeah.
But you decided to go with Haaland.
Yeah.
Last season, last episode, I think we talk about is the time maybe we can move on from Haaland, true? And I think most of the guys were like, why do you think we can move on from Haaland? And I explained very well. Like, I think now most of the strikers, they are scoring a lot of goals. And the reason why most of the managers didn't go with Haaland at the first place last season, the first games, is because they knew they have maybe leverage from the likes of Watkins, like of the Solanke, somebody like Isaac, but they were not scoring goals. They were not giving anything.
They're not giving.
But recently we have seen that Watkins has started scoring the way we used to see. Solanke has now opened and he started to score. I think now he's twice he has scored. When people think they were thinking he's not going to score any goals. So Haaland now, we are coming to that discussion because last week we were talking about should we have Saka in the team or should we have Palmer on the team? And we end up maybe talking with Dawood and saying, because Palmer is so much expensive, 10.6, and you can have Saka who is 10.1, and the difference with the point is only 1. So they end up saying I think he was most sold out, Palmer, and he end up giving something to do with 25 points.
Yeah.
Now, most of the manager, they are knee-jerking going back to Palmer. And this is what we are talking about. Like, I didn't have somebody like Palmer on my team because I have somebody like Haaland.
Haaland, yeah.
I didn't have Saka also because I have somebody like Haaland. And if I'm making that mistake of having Haaland on the team, the like of somebody like Saka, Saka, Salah, and Haaland,
They will be expensive.
I will not have them in the team,
Yeah.
all of them together.
Yeah.
So now, if I can be able to have somebody like Oli Watkins, somebody like Wood who's still giving the points,
Yeah.
somebody like Welbeck who's still scoring, and it will make me able to acquire the premium midfielders like Salah. I think this week I think is the most sold out player.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because so far I think he has 4 goals and 5 assists or 3 assists.
Yeah.
So I don't know the reason why most of the managers they are going away from him. I think maybe to acquire
Because
Palmer,
they are anticipating for a better player.
like who Palmer to score every game 4 goals.
He can't.
No, because I've seen with Chelsea, like we were discussing also Daud last week, that Chelsea every game there is a different player who's
Player
coming
scores.
up and scoring maybe these wild goals. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have seen that the other time was Madueke, then Jackson, now
Jackson.
is
Palmer. Yeah.
Palmer.
Yeah.
So we cannot expect maybe Palmer to be scoring same
Consistently,
yes, because we also say that about the penalty. He had a penalty also in that game.
Yeah.
So in case he got the penalty, that is the reason why most of the managers they have somebody like Palmer,
Yeah.
because he's a penalty taker. Now somebody like Saka also is a penalty taker, but so far we have not got any penalty.
Yeah.
And a team that always plays inside the box, there is high chances of getting a penalty. And Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea, because now the introduction of Sancho, you will see so much penalty being maybe on. In
Yeah,
that,
because we want to win duels, we want to
yes,
go 1v1, you see.
yes,
Yeah. So when you go 1v1 in the box, obvious there is some mistake that can happen, like
So,
the
Samba.
last Sancho.
So when you want maybe to choose, because you have seen most of the games, and maybe most of the managers they wanted the strong defender who can keep clean sheet and score goals. Gabriel from Arsenal, he was the most transferred in player, and he ended up conceding 2 goals. So which other player do you think, or in case maybe you make a choice of going with Gabriel, do you stick with Gabriel, or you decide maybe he's too much expensive, I'll go to another cheaper player? And which cheaper player can you go for?
So first of all, I look the next game against Arsenal will be against who?
Southampton.
Southampton. So looking at Southampton and how they've been performing, Arsenal are a team that they have not conceded so much. So a team like Southampton may not score. So and because of that, Gabriel will be confident to go and get the goals. So in terms of set piece, Arsenal are still leading; they are the best. So I would keep him. That was just sometimes it's unpredictable to say, because I would not expect Arsenal Leicester to have scored, but they scored.
Yeah.
So I can just keep him.
Even the goals I think they scored, there is nothing which Arsenal could have done about those type of goals. Like the Justin goal, I think nothing they could have done about it. You see, the Kai Havertz maybe deflection, there is nothing the keeper could have done about it. If it wasn't for deflection, I think the goalkeeper was having the ball. But that small tiny deflection, it's a goal, because those kind of goals, I think they cannot make us remove those mentality that we have, that we came with this defender and Raya, because most of the managers they bought Raya and Gabriel, because Raya has kept so many clean sheet and most save he has, and Gabriel has scored goals and maybe keeping those clean sheet. So the other thing I can think of is the man called Dawood. We were talking with Dawood, and I say that he's the reason why we got scored those type of goals. Samba, you explain to me, Samba, how comes that Dawood was having Cole Palmer, and that time Cole Palmer was not performing to his best? He decided to sell Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer scored 4 goals.
He's the jinx.
Yes. Haaland was scoring hat-tricks. Then he decided to buy Haaland. Then Haaland scored 1 goal and blanked the other game.
I think you're just supposed to look at his team and remove the players he has.
And that's what I did, because the other time he captained Salah. Salah gave us a binary, man. He gave us 2 points. when he
Yeah.
decided to captain Haaland, Haaland gave 2 points. I decided to captain Salah because I saw him captaining Haaland, and Salah, to my surprise, he gave me 10 points. So, do you think that World Cup that you did only for that game, or you are doing for a very long time? Like Wafula, also you did a World Cup, true?
Yeah.
So, were you only targeting this game week, or you are targeting for a very long
No,
period?
it's for a long time because you have to also check the incoming fixtures
Uh-huh.
so that you can make such decisions.
So the manager who did the World Cup, they should not panic about the game that they did not get any points.
Yeah, sure. Because you see, like this weekend, you can check the fixtures. You'll find the fixtures. Most of the teams are playing at home, and they're playing very not too much competitive teams. You see,
Yeah.
you can see that like some teams will score more goals during the weekend. So when you do your World Cup, you also have to look in the future also. You
So,
just don't bring in those players and then get stuck with the players, and then you start doing the minuses. Yes.
So there is a question I've been dying to ask you when we were talking with Daud. Why Caicedo?
Caicedo, I started with him because he was as we started, he was giving us a very good game, and he was winning so many duels, and then he was tackles. You see,
So how is
So-
that helping you in the FPL?
I think no,
Yeah.
I when we started, I had Caicedo for the last 3 weeks in the
Yes.
FPL, so I was expecting also he can also assist. You see, because he is making some of the best passes in those midfield. Maybe it can go to Jackson, or Jackson give it to Palmer.
Oh, so
see,
you
like
you,
that.
you put
You
Caicedo there as your differential.
yes.
Ah.
So I was expecting maybe there are some through passes he makes. It can land to on a striker or a winger who can score. You see.
So enough is enough. Now you don't have
No, I
Caicedo.
don't have Caicedo at the
You put
moment.
him in the bench and he gave you points.
The day I put him on the bench, that's the day I got the points. It was just a waste of my time.
Because it's very funny you have been having him 4 game weeks too.
No, 3
3
game
game
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah, and the
And
fourth one he
even you
didn't
did
give
a
me.
free hit.
Yes,
And you still put Caicedo there.
he
And I
didn't
was
give me
asking Daud,
anything.
why is this guy putting Caicedo there in the team? When you kept him on the bench, he gave you points.
Yeah, that's when he gave me the points.
So you decided to sell him.
There was no use for him because I don't know. There is nothing I could have done.
So Samba, so which player do you think most manager are not going to that player, but is a player that can give you points, Samba?
I would think it in terms of a team that concedes less first.
Mhm.
If I'm choosing a defender, or a player that is involved in most in most goals. I don't want to say Sancho because I still have some attachments.
But you see, he's a minute proven. He will play.
I think where he stands right now is okay. I would also I would they are a couple. They are a couple. They are a couple.
Mm.
I think one of them I would say Trossard,
Okay, true.
and the other one I would say, which was this other player? I don't want to say Sancho.
Okay, you don't want to say Sancho, but you have already said Sancho, so we'll go with the Sancho and Trossard. Okay, Mike, who is your differential this week?
I think for me, McAllister.
McAllister.
Yeah.
Why?
You see, like McAllister is that player you'll not expect him to perform, but you'll just find him in performing.
And score goals.
Yeah, and like the game they played yesterday, you saw what he did in the Champions League.
I think he's a good pick.
Yeah.
McAllister, I think, is a good keep. And Dawood is the person who was having McAllister last season for a very long time.
I,
Even
I
when he was
also
in
had
Brighton.
him last season for a very long time.
Yes, even when he was in Brighton,
Yeah.
he was. But I've never owned McAllister. There are some players that I've never owned on my team. Somebody like McAllister, I don't think I can go for McAllister. But as
And
a
then for a
differential,
defender, I think Dunk also
yes,
he comes
Dunk.
through here
But
most of
how
the
they
time.
conceded
But
so many
when they
goals.
concede, yeah, this season they are conceding a lot. But for last season, I had him for a very long time because he could also score and
Yeah, because
assist.
he was very good in
Yeah,
headers and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. So, Samba, can you give us the prediction of this week?
Saturday. Hey, this one early kickoff. Hey, Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Hapa, there can be some premium tiers here on Liverpool.
Due to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, this is a game that will be under 2.5 goals. And this is a risky game. This is a risky game to place a straight win for Liverpool because Crystal Palace can be tough. When we played against them, we brought an A game, but we didn't win. So being an early kickoff, first game of the weekend, both teams to score might not sometimes work here, but safe bet will be under 2.5.
Okay.
Arsenal are at home against Southampton. That will be a win for Arsenal. And in this game, we will have over 2.5 goals. Brentford against Wolves. This one is a tricky one, but I would play Brentford or draw, or Brentford to score 1 goal. That's utakuwa na market poa. Then Leicester City against Bournemouth. Leicester City against Bournemouth. Bournemouth without Solanke have been very, very poor. So this is a game that may end in a draw. Same to this Brentford versus Wolves. Manchester City are home against Fulham. They have to bring their game against Fulham. Though Fulham is not an easy team, as you may, but Manchester City will definitely win this game. They have to bounce back. West Ham against Ipswich. It's an interesting game, but I see both teams to score. And Ipswich may pull a surprise here. Then Everton, Newcastle. These are the games that you think Newcastle are going to win, then they fumble. So Everton to score over just a goal. Then on Sunday we have Aston Villa against Manchester United. Villa Park, the intensity of the game, the way Manchester United defenders are overlapping and not covering back. This is a win for Aston Villa. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. Chelsea are on firing form. Nottingham Forest are not conceding a lot of goals. So here will be I would bet Chelsea I would fancy Chelsea to win this or both teams to score. Brighton, Spurs. Brighton or draw or both teams to score. Yeah.
Okay. So you talk about your team,
Yes.
Manchester United, and you fancy to lose that game against Aston Villa. And
Yeah.
last week when we were talking about Manchester United playing against Tottenham, we were speaking with Daoud, and I told him that game, in case Manchester lose, Ten Hag will be in a very tight position. And so far, we have seen most of the people they were talking about sacking Ten Hag. So,
Yeah.
do you see Ten Hag is the problem, or do they need to sack Ten Hag to look for another manager, or is just very early for them to do that?
What I say is this: all players play the game of the coach. There is no player that goes to the field to play their game. If you don't play what the coach says, then you find a player is substituted, Then in the first half, it's also substituted because you're not doing what I've instructed you to do as a coach. So for me, I think Ten Hag is forcing a philosophy on the players that is not working. We were here on uh,
Episode.
the first episode, and I told you we are not even playing football. Like just a game that's like against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Just tell me, just passing to a player next to you was very, very hard. Look at how Bruno behaved. He's lucky that the red card was overturned. But if he did not sleep, that was 3 games. The
Yeah.
same game we missed Kobe Mino because we are overworking him. Look at the looking at a game that we had a red card and how we were approaching the game. Marseille, in the France League, have won 3 consecutive games with a red card. There's a game they got a red card in the 4th minute, in the 5th minute. But how did Zabi tactical change the game was the cutting edge for them. You can imagine the ball is on Tottenham's side. The keeper passes it to the defender. Garnacho is pressing. Why is he pressing? We are 1 man less. Why are you attacking that ball? You see, when Arsenal lose the ball, what I saw that is helping Arsenal, when they lose the ball, they leave the ball, they go back to their structure. So when you come, it was even hard for Manchester City to score because Arsenal were protecting their structure. Everybody covering, making sure you cover all the edges and you're on the structure. So the ball has been passed to the defender, and our number 6 is pressing that ball to the defender. There is so much space that he's going to lose, and when the ball will be passed in front of him, we are going to concede. So the body language of the players and the way they are playing shows me, and I'll say it here again, they don't, Ten Hag is forcing it on them. They feel they can do something better. So with the introduction of Van Nistelrooy there, I'm not going to be shocked because now the games that have sacked Manchester United coaches are against Liverpool. Already Liverpool beat us 3-0. All coaches that lost against Liverpool went. So Liverpool beat us at home 3-0. We've lost at home to Tottenham.
3-0.
3-0 again. Aston Villa, we are going to play against Aston Villa, a team that is, yesterday, even myself, I was shocked, beat Bayern Munich. So this is a team that has came from the Europa League, now is here in the Champions League, and is proving, to be there in the European competition. So I think if Ten Hag, because I feel the players want him to go, but they cannot come and say they don't want him because then he'll be benched. So it's just, I think it's time that there needs to be a change because we are not even playing football. Just holding the ball. I could count the passes. 1, 2, lost the ball. 1, 2, we've lost the ball. 1, 2, simple things.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you're blaming Ten Hag, and he's the most successful manager after Mourinho. After Ferguson, you've had only 2 managers who have won trophies at Manchester United. Ten Hag I think he has tried his best to bring in trophies. 2 trophies in 2 years. That's not a joke with that squad. And then before Ten Hag, you've had about three managers or 4.
Van Gaal,
Yeah. So
Rangnick.
I think what's the issue at Manchester United? Because it's not even footballing issue. It's even deeper. It's much deeper. I think you have the squad. Why isn't this squad playing for the badge? You see, in all position, we have best squad in the league at the moment. I think it's the most expensive squad. I think. You see, why are these players not playing in that manner? You see, we can't blame the coach. The coach can teach his tactics. But what are the players doing? Yeah.
I can blame the coach in one thing.
Yeah.
When a team concedes, there is what the players feed from the coach. And if a team scores, we feed from the coach. There is that tactical mindset that he has, that he will, move the players. So my problem is, for me, 2 years with 2 cups and no style of play is nothing to me. I would rather be a team like Arsenal that haven't won anything, but the trajectory is on an upward level.
Yeah.
And just seeing them, Manchester City, the best team, denying them to win the league, and we're here again, them competing. They have come from down. They have a style of play. They have an identity, and they are lethal. So before the game, they sent that question to that comment to post of Tottenham, and he said, "Yeah, he says he's won 2 trophies. That's none of our concern. You've won 2 trophies, but okay, what? Okay, what? It's okay, we've won 2 trophies. And the games we played, like the FA Cup, why can't we play like that every day? That was not the game of the players. That was the game of the coach. Last season, we played against City and they didn't have a shot on target, 90 minutes. So why can't that game be replicated again and again and again and again? The game against Tottenham, Diego Dalot, Johnson was a problem for him. If I was Ten Hag, switch Mazraoui, bring Dalot number 2. Let Mazraoui handle him because it's much faster. You are clearly seeing the problem in the midfield. But the coaches, we have to use the same tactic. There is no way you play the EPL the same tactic from game week 1 to 38 and expect the same results.
Exactly.
So I blame the coach in a manner that in a game where we would have, in a game that, game like Crystal Palace, Joshua Zirkzee was the best link-up player. He gave Bruno so many passes that would have scored, but he never scored. But what did he do? Removed and brought Rashford. Then what happened? There was no flow. So I'm blaming the manager in places where he would have done better decisions. You see, because watch the game against Tottenham. Why are you telling Martinez to mark a player in the midfield? He did the same thing against Liverpool, and Van Dijk called Martinez and told him, "You just come and try me on. Try that on me." How many times have we seen Martinez fouling a player in the middle of the pack?
Like, it doesn't make sense. Even I was wondering, why should a midfield defender go until to the other side? Even it was not even in the midfield; it was the other side of the field of the opposition, and he's getting a yellow card in that side. It doesn't make any sense, by the way, because what is the need for that tackle? Okay, Samba, that's an intel that we never see, by the way, because we are not maybe watching more of the game. But my concern was, when you got a red card, why should a coach be very fast to make a sub? And maybe there is only maybe 10 minutes remaining for them to go for an half time. Or maybe it was like 5 minutes remaining or 10 minutes. There was no point of him making a substitution, removing Kobe Maino and putting Mason Mount.
Yeah.
I know maybe Mason Mount he will bring him because maybe they need to score goals because he's a creative player. But I think it was the best for the flow of the game to leave Kobe Maino to the game until the second half. Sure. Because I don't think Kobe Maino was the person he was supposed to sub in that game.
No.
And what did I say? What did I say here the first game? I said, this coach loves this player so much to a point. I am happy when he goes to injury.
Now he's in.
And I said no. Now he's back from injury. Yeah. You return him. Now, looking at that game, what did that player bring to the field? Nothing.
He got a yellow card before kicking a ball, you know?
You see my point?
He got a yellow card before kicking the ball, and finally, he was removed.
Yeah, he was injured, I think. He got another injury in the...
Anyway, I think we can say we can talk, and it will never be enough talking about Manchester United and their dramas, man, each and every day. But for me, I don't want Ten Hag to be sacked because
No,
we want to see
we want
Manchester
him
suffering
until the end of the season, man. Why
Yeah.
should they sack him now?
Now it's not good
No,
because
No,
it's not good.
No, you are the players. You are the players. You are the people that say
Yeah.
you want Harry Maguire to start because the game would be fun.
Yes.
I see you.
That's what you want because Barnsley give Ten Hag. Every time Man City gave Ten Hag a period to go, they let them win. It's just a tactic so that you can be entertained.
And
Because
Ten Hag, he has most of the players are new. He's still adapting. You see, he still needs time. You people give him the required time to implement his tactics.
No, the problem with Ten Hag, I can tell you. You see, Ipswich is losing games, but we can say McKenna has a flow of game. You see, he has a flow of game. They are losing games, but you can see they are playing a very good game. It's only that they are not showing
Sure.
that
The
with
results are not coming yet.
Okay, same thing that happened to Burnley. They were playing very good game, attacking game, but the result were not showing. And when you see now this guy gone to Bayern, they have won maybe like 3 games with 6 goals, 5 goals, because this is what a good manager brings in the team.
Sure.
Even if you have new players or you have different players, but at least you will find that now this is the 3rd season. You cannot say that he's very new to the player. He can be very new to 2 to 3 players, but the structure that he has set supposed to be there, because if you are there, you have set a structure, everything will come and flow. Okay, so Samba, today we finish from there, man. Thanks, man, for coming, and
Yeah, I'm really shocked it's a Thursday because how these Thursdays arrive, I
Very
really don't
fast.
know. But then if you didn't text me today,
yeah,
I would have been like, Thursday passed.
yeah. The time flies very fast. I thought maybe it's where I am, but I think we can see from each and every side, time is going very fast. Mr. Mike,
Yeah.
I think, Manze, you are welcome here.
Thanks.
Every time you're coming here, somebody is available.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good vibe having Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester together.
At the same time, yeah.
Manze is so nice.
Yeah.
And we enjoy having you around, giving us insight of the football and giving us those tips about the FPL, Manze.
Yeah, it's great time as I linking out with you people, discussing what we like the most.
Yeah, and to those fans that you are there watching us from YouTube, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe there, and you can also press that notification button for you to be having all the episode when we release them just immediately. Please like and maybe share to everyone who you think that likes football. And on your side, Manze, we appreciate each and everything that you are doing for us, giving the feedback, Manze. They have been helping us a lot, improving the content that we want to give you. So until next time, we appreciate a lot. Adios.
Adios.